You've heard tell of awe and wonder. You've probably had moments of awe and wonder, and they've felt special. They've felt unique and different. Very different. Out of the ordinary. Extraordinary. But there is nothing more extraordinary than this incredible ordinariness. There's nothing more incredible than this has never been before. These words have never been spoken before. There aren't many Thursdays before I sit down and set up my stack of books to balance my phone on, where I don't think, what shit am I going to repeat again today? And then I sit here, and don't ask me how, but it's completely undeniable, absolutely obvious, that whatever is said has never been said before. I mean, is there anything more incredible? Is there anything more awesome than this is the very first time? This is always the very first time. Never again. Never before. If that's not wow, I don't know what is. It's just... And whether there's a sense of wow, whether there's a sense of awe and wonder or not, this is always the wonder. This is awesome in its complete unknowableness. No one knows anything about what's happening. They just know about what's happening, not what is happening. There's no knowing this. Scientists know about this. Philosophers know about this. But no one knows this. And then there's just beautifully empty, gloriously futile, wonderfully pathetic attempts to express this with full knowledge, with full knowing that it can't be expressed, that the attempts are beautifully pathetic. And some will resonate with you and some won't. And some will seem beautiful and some will seem crass and hollow. Some will seem full, some will, but there isn't anything that is not this. So there isn't anything that's closer. No matter how much you resonate with any other human being's words, it just means you like them. It doesn't mean they're more true. It doesn't mean they're closer. It doesn't mean they're more accurate, any more than your favorite love song. And that's all this is. This is just a love song. It's just that my singing voice isn't very good. So it's better that I don't sing. If I could sing, I would sing. I can sing. I could sing really badly. But to me, this is no different than dancing or painting or singing or playing. So there isn't anything more wonderful than anything else. Everything is equally mysterious in its unknowableness. So the mundane and the mysterious are not two. It's just that in the story, when you see something and it's in the same place the following day, we feel we know it. But that's an illusory feeling. You really don't know it. And it is the first time that it's ever been seen. And I'm not just talking about surroundings, the familiarity of home. It's even more pronounced with human beings when it's undoubted that you don't know them, that you've never seen them. Each time you see them is the first time you've seen them, along with the story of all the other times you've seen them. And there can be a profound sadness with that, that even when you see the human being that you say you know, it can be undeniable that you don't know them. You just know your idea of them. And that can feel like a terrible loss. Yeah, of course, you never knew them. That might even feel like a greater loss. You're just left with the stories, which we call memories. And it might be surprising that the stories are more beautiful, not less, for them only being stories, not real stories. The aloneness is inescapable. This is completely alone. Without me, there is no other than me. I had someone ask me the other day, what's illusory? What is it that when you speak about illusion, what is it that's illusory? And I said, well, that's everything you know. And I think she said, what, everything? Yeah, yeah, all of it. Especially what you say is real. When I speak of the peace that passes all understanding, I am speaking about the absence of the seeking, the trying to find what's real. I always wanted to not, I wanted to see past the veil. I want the veil to be lifted and to see life as it really is. Like all the great ones that I've been reading. And of course, I don't know that they're not the great ones and that they did see what's real. I have no idea. All that I'm speaking about is that that seems to have died. And there is a really nonsensical peace with the doubtless illusory nature of what I call knowledge and what I call life and what I call things and what I call relationships. And there's no doubt that absolutely all of that is illusory. And yet somehow there's also no doubt that there isn't anything else to know. And so there's a love of this incredible illusion of being a human being, of being in relationships, of caring, even though there's absolutely nothing to care about. Still there's caring, still there's love. Even though there's no one to love anyone else, there's love, is love. Completely undeniably. So this isn't about making sense of anything, and it's certainly not making sense of everything. There can just be a resting in not knowing. That's how it feels. An ease with, of course, this is unknowable. How on earth would a human being know everything and nothing? Who the fuck do we think we are? It's kind of like that. And there's incredibly an ease with all those who think they know. It's kind of a sweetness and an innocence There's no doubt that self so longs for knowledge and understanding that it's inevitable and innocent that virtually all human beings hang on for dear life to what they know to be true and real. And that's not a problem. It couldn't be otherwise. Nothing could be otherwise, simply because it's not. Not for a reason. So I say to people, yeah, but it couldn't be other than it is. And they go, well, don't be ridiculous. Of course it could. Of course it could. If he'd done that, then it wouldn't be like this. And I go, but he did do that, didn't he? He goes, yes, yes, he did that. And I said, and so it's like this, isn't it? Yes, it's like this. And well, that's what I'm saying. So this is like this. I mean, the simplicity of it is it's outrageous. It's just ludicrous. I mean, everything is as it is. Well, it is. It just is. And of course, self lives in possibilities. So I won't have it that this is the only way it could be. And I'm not saying this is the only way it could be. I'm just saying it is the way it is. There is no could be. Could be does not exist. So it's not even that this couldn't be different. It's just that it is as it is. Everything. And as it is, it's just how it seems to be. Whether you call it illusory or real, it makes no difference. I've lost all interest in what's illusory and what's real. Because how the fuck would I know the difference? And I spent so many years that was really what I was about, knowing the difference. Especially about me, particularly, because of course I'm the center of the universe, so of course it was about me. It was always about me. So am I real or am I illusory? So you might want to spend, 20 years on self-inquiry, just inquiring into that question. But I suggest it would be, there might be more enjoyable pastimes. Because I don't know that there aren't human beings who know the answer to that. But I'm suggesting the answer is irrelevant. There isn't a self to be known or not known. If I look at my history, I spent 35, 45 years trying to know myself, and then a good 15 years of trying to not know myself. I mean, that sums it up, really. So there isn't anything to know, but there equally isn't anything to not know. And again, it's all wonderfully innocent. I'm never trying to dissuade someone from self-inquiry or, self-knowledge or self-improvement or self-help. The innocence of everything is astounding. There really is no possibility of attributing blame or causality. This is uncaused. It's a long time there. I just get a drink.
Alexis has a hand up.
Hi, Alexis.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
Actually, I looked up the etymology of illusion and illusory. It's illudere is the Latin root and it means play, and I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Shakespeare apparently knew it was a play, didn't he?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. I mean, I hated Shakespeare when I had to study it,
Yeah.
but in my old age, I just hear some of it's so beautiful.
Yeah. It is a play. Or who
Yeah,
knows? There's no one to know even that.
no, no. But I mean, if I wouldn't it be lovely if every human being saw life as playtime rather than a job?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
You imagine a world where most human beings thought life was playtime.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what would get done, but it would definitely be more fun. It might be a little anarchic, but it would be fun, anarchy.
Yeah, and when you drop the ball, it's not this crisis. It's time to, whatever the
Yeah,
feelings are, pick
yeah,
it up.
yeah. It's a play. I mean, one of the beauties of this is that life does lose its absolute seriousness. Because it's my business to make my life work. Life has such an edge to it, a serious edge, and what this seems to do is soften all the edges.
Yeah.
I
There
mean,
can't be a mistake. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. I mean, absolutely, there are no edges, but you can still see the edges, but they're not hard and fast anymore. It's not that you can't see edges, otherwise you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to communicate with anyone about anything because there wouldn't be anything to communicate about. So you can play the game.
Yeah, no one to feel edges, and yet here are the edges. Ouch.
Yeah, yeah. And the edges, you catch your foot on an edge and it still hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember at a meeting one day, I said about, of course, absolutely nothing happens. So he goes, so if I punch you in the face,
Yeah. Try
no,
it.
nothing will happen. And I went, well, I'm not suggesting that you do that because it probably will hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Alexis.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Lisa. Just have to
Hi.
unmute.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, you were saying how you spent 45 years trying to figure yourself out. And I think I've spent most of my life trying to figure other people out, like,
Right. Hmm. Oh, I did that as well. Yeah.
yeah, I really wanted to understand because my parents got divorced when I was real young, and I really wanted to understand why, like, all I saw was like photo albums. Like I never really saw them together. I never saw them. So I just think it set up this big mystery for me. And I think I had a lot of hope for intimacy, that I would achieve some sort of intimacy with
Yeah.
somebody. And
Yeah.
it's kind of been a little shocking because it's like I've had to get rid of everybody because it's like I have these expectations that it's like, what are you thinking? You know, like I really wanted to understand the male species. And I don't know if they're different than females, but like, I just wanted that approval so much, you know,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
recognition.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't, is that just a cultural thing, you know, like,
Well, no, I would say it's pretty universal, Lisa. And I mean, I'm talking personally, I spent my whole childhood trying to understand my mother because my whole well-being depended on my mother because everything in my family revolved around her and her being happy. So
that's a,
I was desperate. I was desperate to understand her, and that's my
did
interest
you,
in psychology. All came from that. I don't doubt it.
and did you ever understand? Did you ever get anywhere?
Did I get anywhere? Well, yeah, you could. Yeah, I would say relatively, yeah, of course. But I mean, absolutely no. There's no knowing another at all. You know about them. You just formulate. You know what happens when you're trying to understand another human being. You just when you think you've got an understanding, they demonstrate that it's clearly you were wrong. It happens.
Yeah,
It happens all the time. And
it's just the appearances of how people look. And
yeah,
like you said, most people are hiding behind something. They're hiding, you
well,
know.
yeah. I mean, most people do wear a mask, but of course, that there isn't actually. Here's the thing: there isn't actually anyone in there that's hiding. I mean, isn't that
This
wonderful?
is what I have to
Well,
get. I have to
so
get to,
I don't even see people who are hiding anymore. So I don't even care what mask they've got on. That you know, the mask is no more illusory than the self that they're trying to hide and keep hidden behind the mask. So you take the mask off and there's no one underneath.
I don't know. I want to get, but that just seems scary to me. And
It's terrifying.
I think I might need medication soon, but because I can't like I want so much to connect, and it's just like I feel like all I know is like addicts and crazy people, you know, and it's just like everything, you know, it's like I can't do anything because everything is like a contract, you know. It's like, well, if
Right.
I do that, then they're gonna like want my life, and if I do
Yeah.
that, they're gonna, you know.
Well, that is
So
how
it's
it,
just,
that is how most people are like that. It's the relationships are contractual. You have to agree what you're going to give them if they're going to be in a relationship with you. But you're very welcome here, Lisa, and there's
I
nothing
appreciate it. I'm just,
you don't have to appear any way in particular here at all.
I just think I might be like from a different planet, you know, like where I once knew, I knew these things. I once
Well,
knew these things.
well, it would be lovely if there was another planet that you could come from, Lisa, but I don't think there is, you know. We're all terribly
I will
we're,
believe it if
we're
I
all,
want.
so when I talk about there's no escape, I mean there really isn't. I mean this Earth is it. We're Earthlings. I used to love that in 1950s and 60s B movies, science fiction. Human beings were always called Earthlings by aliens, which I just think if we all referred to each other as Earthlings, that would be a little healthier to start with. So Lisa, you're an Earthling just like the rest of
But
us.
look at my hair. It's like,
I know. Yeah, so you've got alien hair. That doesn't make you an alien.
I don't know. I just, all right.
Uh,
I'll just, you know, I'll give up for today.
oh no, you're fine, Lisa. And I do think that it's lovely that one of the reasons I do this every week is because I think it is a real gift that I don't know, somehow Darren and I have cobbled together
Yeah, I think that it's
this
like,
weekly Thursday group of, I mean, Earthlings, but slightly strange Earthlings who like to come together and share this. And it's quite wonderful, isn't it?
yeah, I won't mention God again, okay?
You
Because
won't mention who?
God, again, ever.
Oh, you can mention God. I'm not. I'm right. I've made my peace with him.
It's okay. Is it a male?
I feel like Lieutenant Dan out of Forrest Gump. You know, when he climbs the mast and he rails against God when he's blowing a hurricane.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was a time when I was quite angry with God.
I still keep trying. I keep trying to get there, you know.
Oh, there's nowhere to get to,
I
Lisa.
know.
It's fine.
I guess I just don't really, I'm just, you know, it's like, this is it. Like, this is it. It's like, oh, I'm not like
I
Michael Jackson, like, this is it, you know, it's like, this is, I mean, but I mean, anyway, it's okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lisa. It's okay.
Okay.
Anya has her hand up.
Anya,
Hi, Tim.
hello.
Hi there. I really, really like your sentence. Without me, there is no other than me. Yeah, it's true. It's just without me, there's no
Yeah.
other than me. That really sunk in. I mean, yeah, that really sounds, it's just, it's just when you notice that, I don't know, it's true, it's obvious. Sorry, there's my phone company in the background that she's ignoring.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when you mention about the difference between illusory and sorry, I'm a bit distracted because the phone is in the back. Illusory and real. I think the difference with just the question shows that it leads you into thinking. You would have to think about it.
Yes. Yeah.
To establish the difference and to,
Yeah. Of course, without thinking about it, there is just what appears to be.
And with the other quote, you just don't have to think,
Absolutely. There's no requirement to think about what's appearing at all. I mean, does it make any difference what's appearing is real or not? To me, it does make a lot of difference, because if I don't know what's real, I can't keep myself safe. I have to be. I will say, a lot of people who, when self feels the doubt of themselves, so when self is in doubt, there's usually a lot of fear, because if I doubt myself, if I don't know myself, then I don't know you, and I don't know anything else. The whole basis of knowing as reality, I need to know myself as subject in order to know the objects. If I don't know me, I can't know you. And that can be very disconcerting, at the very least, terrifying, probably. Can be. But there is nothing to fear, because naturally you already don't know. All knowing is illusory. And then knowing's okay. And you don't mind whether it's illusory or not, whether it is or it isn't.
Yeah. Because it's a kind of a knowing, isn't it? It's just not a knowledge knowing. It's not a
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah, because the knowledge doesn't go anywhere, but it just takes on a whole different flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's a bit like everything softens. Yeah, it's like that, because nothing is as serious. Because the only thing that's serious is me.
Mm.
My life is deadly serious. My life is a matter of life or death,
Yeah.
because I'm alive and it's my job to make my life work to be a success. And depending on, I think it's depending on conditioning, your criteria of a successful life is usually either work, money, relationships, artistic creativity. You know, it just depends, or a whole mixture of all of them, probably a bit of each.
Yeah, that's luxury at the moment. That's it would be luxurious thoughts for me. What does me?
Yeah.
It's this me that believes it has to fight for survival or has to, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's in the story, it's like more existential, but is it really? I in the beginning when I had to explain my situation, I would say I would refer to the tumor in my chest. I would say I have a humor in my chest. It would just come out like that. I
Yeah.
deliberately say it. I have a humor in my chest. So yeah, now I'm looking for it helps me to be humorous about it and also to have, I think it's the English sense of humor, isn't it? It's a very black, yeah. So
Well,
that usually helps me feel.
well, that's what the English do, but it is only that. I mean, I'm not a great advocate of that, because what it is usually is a cover for actually feeling the sadness. The English
I
are very good at using black humor as a to avoid feeling the discomfort of sorrow and loss.
Yeah, but you can't have comfort and loss all the time. I mean, you can't be
No, I'm terribly sarcastic, and I love black humor, but I always have done. Everything. I mean, the most serious things in life, they're always much better if they're laughed about, for sure.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should laugh at death much more than we do. We've still got a taboo generally in the West about, the sacredness of death and not speaking ill of the dead. Well, I think, anyone who's died, but they were an arsehole in life, then you should feel very free to call them an arsehole in death. And we would all be much more comfortable with.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. My father's funeral is next week, so yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, funerals are particular. Well, good luck at your father's funeral, and sorry for your loss. But don't be afraid of saying, picking out all his faults at the funeral and making sure you mention those as well as his good qualities.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
everyone else would appreciate it. When you say, wasn't he a grumpy, miserable old bastard? Of course, I don't know him, so it's probably not true. But if you do say that, there will be a relief that felt by everyone present.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, we still do have that about those who are not here. My grandmother always said, never speak ill of the dead. As though it was a terrible sin. She loved speaking ill of the living, though.
Uh, thanks, Tim.
Oh, thanks, Ian.
That reminded me of that Marcus Aurelius quote, when death smiles. When death smiles at you, all you can do is smile back.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Michael.
Something you said stirred up a thought that took me to the edge. When you said nothing can be different than it is, the thought came up, nothing can be different than it is simply because it isn't. And that leaves me blank. I can't go, and I like that. I like that place it takes me. It takes me almost to a mirror. The older I get, the more I see the self as a mirror. Everything we see is us in a sense, is our name collection, our world, our unique world, in which, as you said, we're ultimately alone.
Yeah.
And that, like you mentioned, can be terrifying. It becomes sublime after a while, once it seems to be integrated into the machinery. This being a mirror for each other. I think that the light between us. Yesterday in the grocery store, I saw a little old lady who was almost as old as me. And she seemed lost. And I caught her eyes and looked at her. And she came up to me and she said, "Did you hear about the father that shot his 3 children?" I said, "I haven't." She said, "A father took his children on his time with them and shot them all." I said, "Oh, that's very sad." And she got tears in her eyes. She said, "I'm a teacher. I don't know what to do with that." And she came up to me and put her arms around me in the grocery store, and it was so sweet and so loving. She became part of me. Obviously, that's why I'm talking about her. Everyone I meet becomes part of my world. The light from them seems to penetrate this aloneness. As light, I think you call it love.
Hmm.
It's a great sympathy and empathy for the human condition, how hard it is to be human, how brokenhearted we all are, how lovely we all are, how heroic in our aloneness and our longing. You mentioned one time that the longing didn't go away, and a lady asked you, "Did the longing go away?" And you said no. And she said, "Oh, Tim, I thought it would go away." And I think our condition is longing. Life is longing. Something embraces that and sees all human beings as this most incredible machinery that we'll never understand. And probably, really, it wouldn't make any sense to understand it.
Mhm.
I had 3 or 4 other thoughts I wrote down that I won't go into, but I thank you for this meeting, Tim.
Oh, thanks, Michael. Yeah. Well, I would say whatever I thought might happen in my seeming absence, none of that's true. Every single one of the ideas that I had. Longing would just be one of a very long list that I was hoping to get rid of, well, I'd be free from that. There'll be freedom from that. There'll be freedom from that. There'll be freedom from that. I mean, longing was that wasn't even at the top nowhere near the top of the list. But yeah, of course, there isn't anything that's lost with the loss of me, because none of it was ever mine. So everything just freely appears. It's It's just, the most ironic thing about speaking about this is more about being more human without me, not less. I thought I was the human being. Here's the thing. I wasn't. You're not. That's just being human. Wonder of wonders. You know nothing about being human because you are that, which is being. There's nothing else. There's no more. And there's no less. So I thought there might be a lot less, particularly of the things I didn't like about my life. Well, there isn't less. There's just what there is. And that appears as everything.
Mm.
In all it's all unexpected.
Uh-huh. Mm.
Razia has her hand up.
Hi, Razia.
Hi, hi, Tim. Hi,
Hi.
everyone. Hi, Darren. Hi, Michael. Yeah. Well, like Anya said, I mean that without me, there's no other than me. That was so beautiful. I mean, it's like everything that you say, it's sort of like opens you up to a new possibility, you know? It's like sometimes like when you go into non-duality meetings and you have like you clash with someone because you have said something and it doesn't resonate with the way that they say it. And yet, I mean, yeah, you can open people up to the possibility of life itself and how you use language. And then there's no disagreement because there's so much of love there in how you say it, you know? And yeah, that's awesome. And then the other thing, we always talk about death and we talk about people dying, people, you know? But relationships die, ideas die, beliefs die, and every day we are digging up these graves and burying a relationship that never worked, that asked too much of us or too little. And it's like death is like, it's not only like that. And then there's nothing wrong with grieving, you know? Like I noticed like my grieving is not as much as it used to be, and that worries me because I would like to grieve. I would like to actually sit down and cry sometimes about things that hurt me. And then I feel like it just goes. It's like clouds in the sky. One moment you feel this so deeply, and the next it's like it doesn't matter. So
No.
yeah, relationships die. And the beliefs that we have about relationships die as well. And then we have these lofty ideals, you know, that people have to live to this, like,
Yeah.
live up to that. I mean, who are we that we want people to be in a certain way that people love them, you know? Can you only love me if I'm perfect or if I fit into a particular framework, you know?
Yeah.
If I am this boundary, you know, this boundary of goodness or your goodness, your idea of goodness. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes it's easier for others to love someone, and sometimes people put up boundaries, and you cannot. You cannot go. You can try your best for them to love you, and it would not. And then you make your peace with that. What can you do? Life is like that. And yeah, and in the end of it all, you realize that it is because of your expectations that you are disappointed. And then you put that to bed as well. You put your expectations to bed. You say, no, let me just
Yeah.
love and take it. Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. I love
Thanks,
you.
Rajiv. Thanks, Rajiv.
Thank you.
David has his hand up.
Hi, David.
Hi, Tim. Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you, every one of you, for this refreshing time together, seeing everything for the first time. This is life, and it cannot be otherwise. It is as it is, and that isness has never been known before. It's not something we knew yesterday at all.
No.
Yeah, it's so real and fresh every moment.
Yeah.
I want to thank both of you and Darren for putting all of this together every week and putting it up on YouTube. I know others closely that tune into you on YouTube, and I often do myself. And even those sessions that I saw before, it's always, always, always for the first time. Always for the first time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, David. Oh, that's lovely. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Lovely to see you all. I will say, if you've got questions and you'd like to ask me something, you can always just email me, or you can message me on Messenger on Facebook. And if you'd ever like a chat, again, email me and we can do that. I've got a meeting in Dorking in Surrey in 4 weeks' time. If you'd like to come to that, then again, just email me. And there's the weekend of meetings in Berlin in September. I know that's quite a way off, but again, if you're interested and you want details, then just contact me. Thanks for a lovely meeting, everybody. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks, Tim. You got that meeting in Dorking as well, haven't you? Is that happening?
Meeting in Dorking is on the 12th of July.
Yeah, okay.
Saturday the 12th, yeah.
Yep. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you,
All the
Darren.
best.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks, David. Thanks, Michael. Tanya.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you figured out a way, Tim, that others can attend your meetings on a Zoom?
I haven't had a chat with Darren about that yet, but yeah, I will do. I'll have a chat with Darren about how we might set up Zoom when I go to Denise's in Dorking.
I'm just going to stop recording. Hang on.